The NRM agreed as follows. One, that the UPDF amendment bill currently before the Parliament of the Republic of Uganda be withdrawn in its current form. Two, that the Attorney General be given time to draft the new proposals into the UPDF amendment bill pursuant to the Supreme Court ruling, and annexed to an ordinary caucus meeting be convened to discuss the proposals of the bill. Three, and finally, that the extraordinary caucus meeting will also discuss the national budget priorities for the financial year 2025-2026. So in a nutshell, that is the resolution of the NRM Parliamentary Caucus pursuant to the Supreme Court ruling on General Court Martial, established formally under the UPDF Act.
Valentine's Love Fete. Tulumbia Freedom City mu kibuga wakati. Tulumbia Freedom City. Nga 14 February Valentine y'omwaka guno. Valentine's Love Fete. Egenda kubera ku Freedom City wano ku Entebbe Road. 14 February ku Valentine kwa nyini. David Lutalo bwakuba. Ena wininwaji bwa sandala baya. Valentine's Love Fete. Tulina misomo gy'abasenga ne bakoja. Oyagalanya singo kutabirira ensonga. Senga nantume koja Kevin Muwomya. Oli wakoja Chimbo wao basinga mida. Bonna mu Valentine's Love Fete. Valentine's Love Fete. Okuyingira kyebiri David Lutalo na wininwaji batwabuluzemu wakati. Duwagiddwa Pepsi. Thirsty for more. Victoria University. Jama Sabuni Ayoza. Chigamba Financial Point. Newman's abamu pachi. Bukede TV. Skypins Tours and Travel. Right now abakola ku byentambula. Na 10 Bukede Farma.
On the question of the timeline or the time frame, we did not give the Office of the Attorney General any specific time frame or timeline, but in the knowledge of the Attorney General, this matter is urgent, and we expect it to be handled as soon as possible. On the issue of the areas of attention, the areas of attention is derived majorly from the decision of the Supreme Court, the question of appointing lawyers in the UPDF to preside over that court, the issue of clarifying on what constitutes a service offense and a penal offense. The other one is security of tenure of those who will be appointed, the manner of appointment, separating disciplinary units of the court martial from the judicial system, I believe those are majorly some of the areas, but also clarifying on what constitutes the monopoly of the army, in this case the UPDF, among other areas that court ruled on. So if you're asking what were the areas of the attention, those are specifically some of the areas of attention. Because the Supreme Court is saying if you're appointing, definitely the UPDF, they are enrolled advocates, enrolled under the Advocates Act. So outside the military, an advocate is an advocate. All of them have gone through the same law school. All of them went for the diploma in legal practice, and after that enrolled as practicing advocates in the High Court and other court subordinates. So those are the areas for attention. What informed the withdrawal? First of all, the UPDF amendment bill before Parliament was meant to handle other aspects, which I may not now remember. But since the Supreme Court also came up with this ruling, more or less at the same time, instead of us proceeding to only handle the amendment before the Supreme Court ruling, we are now saying this is the same law. Either than proceeding to amend, why don't we just do a withdrawal, have a comprehensive consideration in terms of drafting it to cover the areas where court has made a decision, and we bring it back to Parliament. So that is what informed the withdrawal. The UPDF Amendment Act, as of now, was not touching on anything to do with the court martial. It was touching on other aspects. But now that there is this major decision of the highest court of the land, we are now saying we can pause a bit, have it withdrawn. The Attorney General Chambers can have a comprehensive look and review of what court decided. Then they do further drafting to fit within the ruling of the Supreme Court. So that is what informed the withdrawal, not another thing. We don't want to pass the amendment bill, then again it is assented to, then the next day we again come back to amend the same law. You would rather have it withdrawn and you incorporate the decision of the Supreme Court that came after the bill was introduced. I hope that is understood. On the question of foreign aid, I think this will be discussed at an appropriate time, probably also in the budget proposal and priority for the next financial year, in order for us to know where we shall compensate for the funding that we have been receiving, especially on the issue of drugs, majorly drugs. That will definitely be part of that discussion. Because as of now, there is already a mischief that we must cure. Utterances, for me, I am on the mandate to communicate the position of the NRM Parliamentary Caucus, which is the legislative organ of the National Resistance Movement in Parliament. What I am communicating is the position agreed by the caucus that started today. Not yesterday, but one. But today, the day of our Lord, 7th of February 2025. So that is the position of the legislative organ of NRM in the Parliament of the Republic of Uganda. A body charged with the constitutional mandate of making laws. And also we must agree that courts of judicature interpret the laws we make. If they have done their part, the ball is now in our court to also do our part. And that is our humble duty. I am not privy to any utterances and what have you. My mandate is limited to the NRM Parliamentary Caucus, and that is our position which I have signed and I will circulate.
Honourable Chief Whip, for clarity, you seem to be cherry-picking the recommendations of the High and orders of the Supreme Court, because as of now, the ruling has not been enforced by even an inch. I want to understand whether this caucus took time to discuss matters that have been on the floor of Parliament, because to some interpretation of this ruling, there is no reason. Yeah, because there is no real reason that people who have been facing charges, who have been tried by the military court, are still in prison. Because the warrant expired, they are illegal. I wanted to know whether the government, the NRM caucus, is even concerned about this, because this matter has been on the floor of Parliament. For you to take us to the amendment as if it was the key issue that was decided by the court, it seems to be you are cherry-picking recommendations. We want to know, what did you discuss regarding the entire ruling as the NRM caucus?
Let me state, you see, I give you normally the resolution, but let me state that the Supreme Court of the Republic of Uganda did not say release those under trial in the military court martial immediately. No. It is said transfer them to the civilian court. And the transfer legally is also a process. In fact, that is a question that should be posed to the lawyers, because it is incumbent upon them to extract a ruling of court and serve to the parties that should affect the decision of court. So the Supreme Court never said release them immediately.
It meant so, because by saying the court is illegal, that, no, when they say, because the transfer you are talking,
it is a question of opinion and interpretation.
yeah, but government chief put the
What I am saying is, the Supreme Court in its ruling stated transfer them, those who are currently under trial, to the civilian court. The Supreme Court never stated release them immediately. Those are two different things in law. The process of transfer is also there.
in which law it is provided, in which law the transfer of cases from military court to civilian, it is in which law?
But I'm saying that is what the Supreme Court of the Republic of Uganda ruled. It did not rule that release them immediately. It ruled that transfer those currently under trial in the military court martial to the civilian court. And we are saying the transfer process is also a process.
Guided by which law?
Is a process.
Guided by which law? The law, the trial was illegal, and
So you were thinking that the next day.
no, because actually the person who arrested them did it illegally, so there's no reason to keep them there.
There is nothing like an illegality. At the point they were arrested when the provisions in the UPDF Act were in operation. It is until
eno sho twakibagamba era tugenda kukibakuba mujja julia Live Memories Concert ya Honorable Geoffrey Lutaya ku Valentine's Day ku Sheraton Kampala Hotel. Tickets zitundibwa kati ku Papa Sport Machingi, Jude Color Solutions, Pakalaste Machingi ne ku Sheraton Kampala Hotel. Shilingi emitwalo 15, emmeeza ya milioni 3 ku basimu noti 7 noti emu 5 28 ofune ticket yo ove mu byasamanya twogera ku Valentine's Show nga 14 ku Sheraton Kampala Hotel. Kale bwe demo ebyokubera mu nyumba ng'eseppichi. Live Memories Concert ya Honorable Geoffrey Lutaya ku Sheraton Kampala Hotel ku Valentine's Day. Hewagidwa I&M Bank, Aquafina Water, Venom Records, Jude Color Solutions, Ntake Super Cooking Oil, Pakalaste Machindi, Temcop Security, Horo Nebitegekebwa, Humble Management.